Hi, my name is Vel.
I'm Alex.
And you're watching ItsOtakuTV.
Today we're going to be talking about Angels of Death.
It is 16 episodes long. It can be found on Funimation and Crunchyroll. The links can be found down below in the information section.
So the anime starts off, you're immediately introduced to Rachel, a 13-year-old girl who wakes up. She has no memory of where she is or how she got there.
Your second character you're introduced to through Rachel is Isaac Foster, but you meet him as Zach. And Zach essentially is presented to you as a sociopath wielding a scythe. In that instance, you see Rachel fleeing from Isaac to try and get away, and she finds an elevator and moves on.
So how the building she's in works is, as you go on, you see she moves floor to floor, and each floor introduces you to a different villain that ultimately tries to kill Rachel and Zach. The next floor you go to, you meet Danny. He's a doctor, and he's seen as Rachel's therapist. Danny's obsession is eyes, so he wants to kill Rachel because of the way her eyes look.
So each floor is labeled differently. You have B6, which is Isaac's floor, B5, which is Danny, B4, which is Eddie, B3, B2, B1. So you go through each floor, and each floor essentially has its own boss. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Alright, so each floor has its own boss, and the closer they get to the top, the more Rachel remembers and realizes who she is and why she's where she is. So each floor is modeled after some aspect of that boss's life. Danny's floor is modeled after him being a therapist and a doctor. Isaac's floor is modeled after him being essentially homeless. Eddie's, I don't know how a child ended up in a graveyard, but Eddie's is modeled as a cemetery.
He's a sweet character.
I thought that was kind of cute, but also it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And there's
Kathy.
There's Kathy. Kathy's floor is modeled as a prison cell. Billy is modeled after a prison.
Basically.
There's a whole room with an electric chair, and you have an audience.
There's a lot of technology as well on the floor.
There's a lot. Above Kathy, you have the priest.
Gray.
Whose name is Gray, and his is modeled after a church. Rachel essentially goes through what they call a witch trial. And if you're familiar with the history of Salem, Massachusetts, and stuff like that, then you know a witch trial. Basically, everyone's accusing her of being a witch, and she essentially gets burned at the stake.
Telling her she should be punished.
Yeah.
But the thing with his floor is none of it was real, essentially. Not gonna tell you why, but none of it was real.
And you get to the top floor, which we tell you is basically Rachel's floor, and you think they're gonna get out here. And one key thing you'll learn about Isaac is that he is based on honesty, and Rachel is based on religious belief. Her faith in religion. That's how I see it.
She doesn't believe she deserves to live because she sinned. In the beginning, she just doesn't know why.
Like, she tells you she committed a sin, but she doesn't
fully
know why or what it was. As far as you know, it's considered she just saw something. But my least favorite part is honestly, like, Kathy. I hated Kathy, but Danny's like right there. No.
He's like Michael Myers. He wouldn't die.
Please, sir, stay down. We've buried you. Stay down. You died forever ago. Stay down. Stop getting up. Or like in the Terminator movies where you think you killed the Terminator thing and it gets up again. Thing. I've never really watched all of them, but I've seen, like, when Dad's watching them, I've seen them get up after being run down and set on fire with full-blown
because
gasoline.
they're machines. Danny was a person.
I'm talking like full-blown gasoline has been dumped on these things and they've been set on fire and they're just like, hi. Like, honestly, I liked the ending at least. It's not like your traditional anime, how they end. A lot of them are like lovey-dovey and stuff like that, but like you get this and it's out of the box ending. So overall rating?
Maybe a 4.5 out of 5. I wouldn't give it a full 5.
Yeah, I was like, I can give it like a 4 out of 5, but I cannot give it a full 5 stars. Kathy wouldn't shut up and Danny wouldn't die.
It's just, so Angels of Death is based on, if you don't know this, based on a video game. The video game came out before the anime.
And again, Angels of Death is 16 episodes. It initially was just 12, and then they had like 4 episodes that they threw online. So like you had 12 on TV, and then 4 that were online.
Exclusively online.
And now you can watch it on Crunchyroll, you can watch it on Funimation.
Even Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, we found it on Hulu. So Hulu definitely has Angels of Death up there.
It's not very, I wouldn't say it's very mainstream.
It's
It's not that
I
popular.
wouldn't consider it a horror either, even though it's got
it's
some
psychological horror.
Yeah, so it is in the nitty gritty, but I wouldn't really consider it something scary.
No.
It's like
It's traumatizing.
Oh.
It deals with a lot of traumatic aspects.
Yeah, that's one thing I was gonna say. If you have any type of trauma or anxiety or what have you, this is probably not a show you should watch.
Be careful. Watch it with.
Especially if you have trauma like PTSD. I wouldn't. I would not recommend this for you. It's like I said, it's
Watch with caution.
Yeah. So just a friendly reminder, you can find Angels of Death on Crunchyroll, Funimation, Hulu, possibly Netflix.
You can find the game on basically all platforms. It's available on Steam, the Nintendo Switch, and iPhone.
It will also be, if you check the Nintendo Switch store, it is telling you that they will be updating it to the anime version.
The mangas are still running.
The anime, again, like I said, is only 16 episodes. It is fully completed. That's how they wanted it left. This has been Vel.
Alex.
And you've been watching ItsOtakuTV.